this year we're establishing something that we are going to do every year, and we established it primarily because of the incredible. I've so far run out of adjectives for what this young man did this year, but the first ever Shore Sports Network Most Valuable Player, which we will give out every year, but I don't know if there'll ever be anyone who will be as locked for an award like that as he was, and that is Ashante Worthy of Freehold, who joins us here live, along with his head coach Dave Ellis. It was a magical season that was just actually a tiny bit short of magical, but it was a great season for Freehold, and we're delighted they are with us. And Bob, as you introduce Ashante, you almost have to pay homage to the numbers because they're off the charts.
They are off the charts. And you talk about adjectives. As someone who's had to write about Ashante all year, I've run out. Like, I need a pocket thesaurus or whatever you have, because seriously, you put whatever you want in front of his stats that are out there. Unbelievable, unreal, incredible, awesome. Like, you name them all. And you talk about his numbers, it's not just in one category. It's so many different things. I mean, a state record, 2,860 yards rushing. A state record, 61 combined touchdowns. A state record, 4,900 something, combined yards. 4,966 combined yards. A short conference single game record, 635 combined yards. I mean, we can keep going, but we probably will run out of time before we get there. So it was that kind of season. And I don't know if we'll ever see another season quite like that, Kevin.
And here is Ashante Worthy. Young man, congratulations. We had a chance to have you on our show during the course of the season. You were in the process of, but you never slowed down and had a season that people like me will talk about for many, many years to come. So on behalf of us, congratulations on being the first ever Shore Sports Network Most Valuable Player.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
And I have to call, maybe 10, 15 years down the road, might be called the Worthy Award.
It could be.
Of course, the architect of this player and this team was Coach Ellis. And Coach, congratulations on a tremendous year. I know you fell a little bit short, but how did it feel? I mean, everybody that saw that game said it's an instant high school classic game, one that no one will ever forget. I know the outcome wasn't like you wanted it to be, but did you get into the game that much?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you're playing for a championship, and especially
Not easy to get into it.
Yeah, I mean, we've come a long way as a program, being able to play in the championship game, and I mean, Ashante had a tremendous game for us that game, and all the seniors, everybody, all the players that night, I could say, laid it all on the line. And that's what a lot of people said to me after the game. They said, Coach, everybody played hard, they laid on the line, and we just came up short. Long Branch got the better, we got the better end of them earlier in the season, and it gave a very similar game, and they got us this time.
Dave, Ashante was on the field a lot for you as a freshman, as a running back behind Josh Dixon, right, if I'm correct?
Yes.
He played a good amount. Sophomore year took over as a starting running back, so he's a running back. And then all of a sudden, junior year comes, you guys get off to a slow start, you're looking to make a change, you put him at quarterback, and you unlocked, one of the greatest players now in Shore Conference history. I think we can safely say that. Obviously, you went to that offense, that empty backfield offense, where he's the guy back there for a reason, hoping it would jumpstart your team. Could you ever, in your wildest dreams, imagine that it would take you guys where it did as a program, and then have Ashante put up the kind of numbers, the historic record-breaking numbers that he did, both running and passing?
No, we didn't envision that. I mean, we just wanted to, I think at that point we had scored, we were averaging about 10 points a game when we put him at quarterback, and we knew that we had to score more, and he only had about 180 yards rushing after 3 games. And being a 1,400 yard back the year before, we were trying to figure out how we can get him going. And we came up with this offense. We tried to run a version of our offense we had run with Jay Curry, with a running back and everything. And then we kind of realized that it's counterproductive to have another running back there. And then I feel like that's when it really took off. And one of the things that gets lost in the whole thing is Ashante. This is what I was telling some of the colleges is there's 3 things about him that I don't know if we'll ever have again. 1, very talented. 2, humble. 3, coachable. I was telling somebody the other day that some of the teachers don't even know who he is in the school. He doesn't carry himself like that. All the awards, the accolades, he comes in Monday ready to work, Doesn't matter whether he rushed for 400 yards or whatever it was. We meet, with the lineman, and we talk about where he should have ran some of the times, even if it was a touchdown, and he takes it and he fixes it.
You're going to be the measuring stick for many years to come.
Well, yeah, one day I hope somebody could do it, because that means they've been working as hard as me. So
You just don't want it to be anytime soon.
Nah.
Ashante, virtually the ball is in your hands on every play, obviously. You're back there in zero backs, you're the quarterback, you get it, and you decide what to do with it. You're either running it or throwing it. Is there a time in any game where you get tired? I mean, we're talking in some instances, 80 plays?
He had 550 offensive touches this year.
550 offensive touchdowns. I mean, touches. Unbelievable. I mean, is there a time? What kind of shape are you in?
Coach put us in the right position for those type of games. During training camp, like 90-degree weather, we out there running gases, about 5-10 of them. So it comes from there. We just work hard in training camp. We run the sprints full speed every time.
A lot of players that are listening to that should really listen to it. It comes in the off season and in the preseason, and then during the week you just tone it down and stay, in shape and healthy. Right, Coach?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's when it happens.
Yeah, one of the other things about Ashante, about in the championship game, people don't realize is he had 10 tackles on defense.
Exactly.
And somebody told me, I didn't know that either. And somebody said, Ashante had 10 tackles? He was one of our second leading tackler. And, he played every offensive snap, played 3/4, I would say, of our defensive snaps, and still, was able to do that. So, he left it all on the field that night.
Dave, you've been around the game long enough in shore conference football, and there's obviously been a lot of very, very good players. But honestly, we kid around. You've run out of adjectives. I mean, there's never been anything like what he did. And I think the greatest testament to what his accomplishments were what you said about it. Humble, coachable. I mean, you'd never know Ashante Worthy is the star unless you knew it was him.
Absolutely. I think what happened this year, and some of the records are a result of a perfect system for a perfect player. We kind of run it like isolation in basketball. It's like LeBron James at the top of the key. Yeah. If you double him, he's going to dish it out. And the key this year is he was good enough. The passing game really came along. And that's when people ask me to compare him to people. I say, I don't know how many coaches are going to throw, that can throw the ball well, are going to run them as much as we ran him, or vice versa. Most of the time it's, they throw for 2,000, 3,000, and run for maybe 1,000. But the balance he had and the ability to throw the ball, I think, really separated him.
Coach, you brought one of your assistants with you, Mike D'Antonio.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about him and what he's meant to you and to Ashante.
Coach D'Antonio does a great job. I mean, he coaches our wideouts. He's our pass game coordinator. He really watches the perimeter. He's the guy that looks to see, people are jumping our plays. He calls our answer to that, and some of our play actions, I guess, if you call it, we really have a running back. But he does a great job in the wideouts, and he's up top, seeing what defense are doing to us, and because we never knew every week how teams are going to play us, and it's hard. It's one of the things. There's no other team that has the film, that does what we do. So there's nobody to watch.
Well, I'll answer that. Nobody's figured out yet how to play it. that's the answer.
Dave, is there moments on film where you're watching film and maybe you pick up on something that he did that you didn't even realize during the game, maybe haven't realized in the past? There's so many nuances the way he'll run up like he's gonna run it, then he'll pull back and throw it, and some crazy scrambles, and just made me think, man, I'm so glad I don't have to coach against this, because I can only imagine what the coaches, especially in your division, we're going through that week of preparation, just trying to figure out any way to slow them down or any kind of tendency, because it just, from all the film I saw on you guys, there didn't seem like there was any.
Yeah, no, there really wasn't any tendencies, because we took what the defense gave us. Some coaches just like to run their plays, and we kind of look out there, and if there's 7 in the box, we're throwing the ball outside. There's 4 in the box, we're running it 100%. And I would say the thing that most impressed me with Ashante this year was probably the Nottingham run. That was live, that one, and probably at Rutgers, the time when he jumped from the 4-yard line and dove in the end zone. Those two things, it's like, you just say, wow. I mean, even though you're coaching him, you see him every day. I thought those 2 plays really stood out to me.
Yeah, I'll attest to that Nottingham game. I stand on the sideline for that. I could barely believe when I saw it with my own 2 eyes.
Ashante, as the season went on, it seemed like more and more college coaches started discovering you. So, you know, we understand that Rutgers opened up its recruitment of you again. So where might you be in that college process? What's your thought? And is it important to you to go to somewhere where you might play quarterback, or you just want to go to the best place for you?
I just want to go where I fit the best. Don't matter where I play, offense, defense, kick, return, punt, no, it don't matter. To be honest, I just want to play football. That's it.
Dave, can he play at the next level? Any doubt in your mind?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I sat down with Syracuse today. You know, when we watched his highlight film, he said he was very impressed with what Ashante can do. And, you know, another coach told me that's the best film he's seen all season, you know, Ashante's film. So all of us got confirmation they're saying he's an FBS kid, you know, no doubt. It's just a matter of we got to get it done in the classroom, and he's got ACT coming up. So it's going to be, you know, it's going to be down to the wire, whether he's a late qualifier or maybe we have to go to a prep or JUCO route. But he can definitely play at that level from what I'm hearing. So we're just going to put him in the right spot.
I know from you know, reading the recruitment story on him, I know you've got some good momentum with that. I know you had a really good first market period in the classroom, so that's got to be exciting. You got to feel like you're on the right track, doing what you're supposed to do, and just keep going forward. So from that standpoint, you got to feel good about just the fact that you're doing what you need to do to move forward and give yourself an opportunity in college, huh?
Well, when the coaches come in, they just tell me the way you perform on the field, perform in the classroom, and then one day you can play at the next level.
If you juke a teacher like that, I don't know.
Well, I expect that we're going to get the opportunity to watch you in the very near future, the next level. But Ashante, I hope you can appreciate and realize that you had a season for the ages that people will be talking about for many, many years to come. So on behalf of all of us at the Shore Sports Network, we congratulate you on earning the first ever Most Valuable Player Award.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Dave, thanks so much. Congratulations on a great season. Really appreciate your cooperation, and he'll be easy to replace next year, right?
No, not at all. Thanks for having us.